Hi, this is a review of NQ and DS futures for 6th of February 2026. So starting the day in the overnight session, first of all, we're coming after a very steep sell-off the last few days, so we just reached a large down measure move on NQ, and we started with these two measure moves up as a break for the downtrend here. But after finding some resistance, it pushed through that up measure move, retested it from above and managed to push through. So in the overnight session, we actually started with this uptrend, which reached this larger measure move, found some resistance, and created these two legs back, which also created a break for this uptrend. So after this second leg had this overshoot break and playing out with this push to a new low, and then very quickly closing above the EMA and above this down measure move of the break, I think it's a good trade to go for a new high, as long as you keep your target within this channel top line. So here after it closed, it came back, even a limit order would have worked. So I think that's a good trade. So price pushed with this leg, which played out here to a new high, and it reached the overnight high level. Then it found some resistance, had two legs back, overshot this break, had two attempts, actually multiple attempts to make a new low and failed, and just pushed higher. Then price with this went into this spike and channel, pushing to a new high. And then after this channel here had an overshoot, it also reached a potential top by connecting these two swings. It plummeted down. It created this break for the channel here, attempt to make a new high, quickly failing, pushing below the overnight high, and going into this downtrend here, which finally had a break and a push to a new low, and finally met this down measure move here. So at this point we were considering ranging, because we are pushing through the overnight high up and down, and here I did not find any good trades, because this was clearly just one leg to a new low, so I was expecting a potential second leg to a new low here, which never happened. Instead we had this break at first, this leg to a new low for the second one for this leg here, failed and created a larger break. It retested the overnight high before finally pushing down to a new low with this leg here, which played out here. And then after this play out, we had basically we were still in an uptrend. We have been bullish the entire day. We had this channel by connecting these two swings and placing them at the bottom. Now it wasn't clear, but yeah, you can place them by any lower swing that you make, or connecting them here to see what eventually will fit. It was also in the area of this down measure move, which acted as a breakout area. So market a lot of times it likes to revisit the entry points for the breakouts, which in this case it did here. So this trade launched price up, then market came and revisited this entry point. So that's a good area to look for a potential bounce. So when this correction from the uptrend played out with multiple legs to a new low, and we have this sharp pushback, I like that for a trade with target below the overnight high, because the correction is played out, and the second leg of the correction also played out with two smaller legs to a new low, and we have a very steep bounce here. pushing through the down measure move and also pushing through the EMA. That was the reason for that trade. And at that moment also, again, we can confirm this potential channel to keep it in mind for the future. So price pushed into two more legs to a new high. It reached the top of this range before rushing down again. And if you look, this is a smaller picture, price action versus what happened here. You have initial spike down, and then you have two legs to a new low. So this push here, one leg to a new low, break, second leg to a new low, and the second leg played out with two smaller legs to a new low. And here we have a spike, one leg to a new low, second leg to a new low, and then two legs to play out the second leg here. So price likes to do that a lot of times, and it bounced at this potential trend line. So I did not take any trade here because we were going straight into the overnight high after we just faded it back, and this looked like, yeah, this could have been just one leg to a new low and another push for another clearer leg could have happened. In this case, he just spiked up, went into this this channel hill grinding up. It reached the up measure move eventually, and it also reached this up measure move, and now it's ranging in this area. So we are at the middle of this channel here, so price could go either way. Right now it's in the middle of this range, but considering the bullish bias, I would say something like this could be possible. So we will get a break, fail to make a new high here, push down, grab some liquidity from around this area, and then finally push higher, retest the measure move for a long. So it depends how this will set up, but I would not expect the price to straight out push here because it's a key resistance area for now. So I think we will chop a bit in this range, up and down. Alright, so that was NQ. For ES, quite similar. We had this uptrend in the overnight session. We had a break. One key point to make is that ES seems to be much more bullish than NQ. If you just look at the break for this uptrend, NQ had two clear legs back. It even overshot the second leg, while ES had one leg back, and then the second leg was chopping around, couldn't even make any low for this initial leg here. So yeah, ES is much more bullish currently. Then after it, yeah, to be honest, I traded mostly NQ, but looking at this could have been a good area to go long because of the fact that I was just saying. So we have this push up, first entry short. You have two attempts to make a new low here for this leg, which failed. Have another break. This would be the second attempt to make a larger picture leg to a new low, something like this, which failed again. And from this point, you even have a failed second entry point. I think this is good for, at least for 1-to-1, because yeah, it's you have two legs after breaking out this break channel, two legs to a new low failure. So with very bullish context, so I think it's good to take for 1-to-1. Then he has pushed into this two legs up. Finally, it reached the same area here. It made this top here, then this one. So after reaching this area, it went into a break. The break downtrend has its own break and two pushes to a new low, very similar to what we had on NQ. Here, two pushes to a new low, same pattern here, and then it popped above, So this is also a good trade, my opinion. This one here, after pushing back to the EMA. It's very similar to the trade on Incure. We have the downtrend, playing out the downtrend. We have the break, first attempt, second attempt to make a new low, and then push back into the range.